Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 25 of All the Mods 3 Expert Mode. And today is a big day. Today is the day that we get to make the Quarry. I've always considered the Quarry as like a major milestone in my gameplay because it represents like the point at which raw resources become trivial. You have an infinite supply of them. So, well, let me expand on that a bit more. Right now we do have this laser drill, and since I actually haven't played it in a couple of days, we probably have quite a bit of some resources. But this isn't really an infinite amount of resources. Sure, for some things like rock crystal, 1300 rock crystal ore will probably last you the whole game. But like, I only have 300 tin ore. That 600 ingots might not last me forever. Like emerald ore, only 128. But anyways, my point is, this represents a good raw resource collection, but a quarry, it's like it'll produce 10 times, 20 times the output of the laser drill. So yeah. Anyways, my point is that I should make one. Now, looking at this recipe, I think I can just do it. I have to make elementium circuits, right? This is what it uses, the engineering press, which is normally the diamond one. Okay. I think after we have this too, we can begin to set up a proper ME system, because then we'll have the actual resources to do so. Doesn't look like the inscriber actually benefits from time in a bottle. It's, accelerated to the max, and wait, is that faster? No, right? No way. This would be, with this level of acceleration, normally it's like 10 times faster. But I think this is just the rate that the inscriber runs at. Now I'm second guessing myself. I'm going to wait for it to fall off to see for sure, but I'm pretty sure it didn't actually get any faster. Yeah, I'm not crazy. The acceleration buff is gone and it's running at the exact same speed. Womp womp. Looking at these elementium processors, they're used in quite a few places. Very, very important things like the pattern terminal. Can't live without that one, obviously. Controller takes 4 each. Crafting units, crafting for auto crafting take 1 each. Loot fabricators, cards for quarry, and one item that really caught my eye. I don't know what this ME compatibility adapter is. From this compatibility adapter mod, and that doesn't say anything, so I don't know. But whatever. My point is, I'm gonna make 32 of them for now because I don't have an infinite supply of elementium. But at some point, we're gonna need to automate this process. As we craft this, the laser drills, I need to run the Empower for a bit, so these take 16 million RF each. Will be like a minute or two. I'm actually planning on making 2 quarries, one for the overworld and one for the Nether, because I want to get, well, you know what? Maybe I won't run the Nether one immediately. I don't know. I'll think about that. But anyways, I have to make these pickaxes, which have to be done in Thaumcraft, and I need to learn some research for it. Thankfully, it says it's of negligible instability, so odds are I won't blow up my world again. But since at one time where I actually turned my world into a big sea of purple, I've been remiss, I guess you could say, to continue tinkering in Thaumcraft. Apparently the Thaumcraft book is not in there. There we go. Can I add it? Let's see. Apparently I can. Haha. There we go. I love the Akashic Tome. It's so convenient. This Thaumcraft research here requires some more knowledge, and I'm hoping to not have to do that Thaumcraft knowledge minigame anymore. So my plan is to mine this amber bearing stone. When you mine it, it has a... I have so much of it. When you mine it, it has a chance to drop preserved knowledge, I believe, which will give you like Thaumcraft research points. So go me. So yeah. Those are rare. Oh, these things, preserved curiosities. It's much easier to eat preserved curiosities than it is to actually do Thaumcraft research. And apparently that takes a lot of food. When all is said and done, I have 3.5 stacks of preserved curiosity. I think this is basically enough to do all the research in Thaumcraft. So right click a bunch, learn a bunch of stuff, and I never have to play that like research minigame again. Woohoo! In case it wasn't clear, I have gained some knowledge. Aha! I was about to go melt down some charcoal for, I think it's Ignis, but I realized we were still using the basic Essentia smeltery. If we upgrade to the Thaumium tier 1, I think it'll not only be significantly faster, but it'll leak less flux into the air, which is a good thing, because I don't want my base turning purple again. So, I just have to craft one of these. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't do this earlier, as a matter of fact. Here's another one of those crafting recipes that uses a lot of this, but thanks to our workbench charger, we can draw it from 9 different chunks, and thus we can afford it. There's various things we can do to speed this process up. Well, we can either speed it up further by adding, you know what, let's even look into that. Auxiliary slurry pumps. Whoops, I haven't learned it yet. But an auxiliary slurry pump lets you extract a second aspect, like basically another stack of alembics, or we can use there's like a filter of some sort to release less vis into the atmosphere. You know what? Let's make the slurry pump. Let's see if I can research it and then make it. It would probably be under alchemy. Aha! Somewhere around here. Game bellows. Where do I find that? Alright, I'm gonna do some searching. Because all that knowledge I gained from mining ore, most of these researches, all I have to do is just click the complete button. So much nicer than having to actually do the research. Will I be able to complete this entire tab? Well, everything... This is the alchemy tab, right? Everything I've unlocked I've been able to complete. Aha! Whenever I craft in Thaumcraft, my inventory becomes a literal mess, because I can't, it's hard to just pull the exact quantity you need for things. I just end up pulling a stack and then putting the extras away when I'm done. But that means my inventory gets cluttered a bit. Alright, so on the smeltery, on 3 sides of it, you'll notice there are these extra ports. That's where you put stuff like these auxiliary slurry pumps or the filter. And each of these pumps behaves... Come on, get put down. Each of these pumps behaves just like the smelter itself, so we can put alembics above it. And I could use piping to automatically pipe the Essentia into the various jars, but I don't actually fully understand the piping system, and we're close enough to applied energistics that I'm probably just going to use thaumic energistics to handle it in the near future, so I'm not going to bother learning yet again. This is how I ended up never learning how to do it, by the way, so, go me. Alright, now when I say I want to melt down some charcoal, it melts faster, and you see that it'll be distributed between all three of these outputs. So not only is it outputting to 3 at a time, which at least makes it 3 times faster, but the Thaumium Essentia smeltery is faster than the regular one, and thus it's more than 3 times faster than it was before. Ultimately, that just means less waiting around, which is always good. Now I have to find... My jar system here is a disaster. Nope, doesn't look like I have a potential one yet. Now I do. Well, this is new. I'm about to run out of aqua vis crystals. I don't think I've ever run out of these like fundamental primordial crystals before. I have exactly 0 left. Thankfully, I think this is enough ore to jars that I won't need any more before I build the quarry, and the quarry will provide us tons of it. But yeah, it's a strange thing to run out of for me, at least. With this being a negligible instability recipe, I expect no issues. I am a little curious, although I am also somewhat concerned that things might blow up. What does this do? Hey, it works! Nice! And it doesn't even screw up the stability. That's actually pretty cool. This is one of the, the arcane pedestal has always been one of the slower crafting recipes that I never knew how to speed up, but now I do. Anyways, I'm gonna make a couple of these. It takes 2 per quarry, and I want to make 2 quarries. So, aha, go fast. crafting all of that stuff should have taken long enough for our empower to finish. Nice. So now we can make 4 laser drills. 1, 2, 4. And turn them into 2 quarries. I think this is just a case of the RF tools crafter doesn't want to craft them. Hold on. All else fails, do it in a vanilla crafting table, or in this case, a Tinker's Construct one. All right, well, those won't stack. And next up, we have to actually make the builder to do the quarrying. Thankfully, I'm pretty sure this, I looked earlier. Yeah, this is just a standard recipe, so piece of cake. He says as he fails to count to 8. I don't know how I got 4 times 2 is 2, but all right. Oh, come on, am I out of machine frames? 1 second. Before we actually set up the quarries, we also need some way to power them. I know I unlocked the Spectre energy grid thingy, and I could use these to send energy. At least I think I can. I'm not exactly sure how it works. These, right? No, those are the generators. Here we go. These transfer coils. But I think it's just easier to use RF Tools power cells. Well, not the creative one, because even like we have so many dimensional shards from our void whatever miner, our laser drill, that we can just use the advanced version even and find where they are. I think these power cells can do, if I place it down, yeah, 20,000 RF a tick per side. So I'm going to put it directly up against our generator's output port, because that way it won't be bottlenecked. Set you to input. And then by placing a power cell card in them, you can link all power cells that have the same power cell card together. So even basically they form a virtual multi-block. So if I do that and then I put this power cell here, you can see it's actually part of, you could say, the same multi-block as that one, and thus they are together. So if I set this output mode, I can, use this as wireless energy transport. Do the same with the third one. So one is for input, the other 2 are for output. Optionally, you can add a filter to the builder, and that'll just tell it, either a whitelist for only mine these blocks or a blacklist for don't mine these blocks. And I'm just going to blacklist some of the common, things I don't want mined. I'm actually not 100% sure if you have to blacklist stone or cobble. I know I tested this at one point. I've since forgotten what the result of said test was. But a big difference between filtering for the builder quarry versus the quantum quarry is that you don't pay for blocks you filter out. So I'm sure there's more blocks that could be filtering, like, I don't know, granite, diorite, whatever this stuff is. But there's sufficiently little of it that I don't really care. All right, so next up we have to define the shape to quarry. That will right-click it. For this, I want a 512 by 512 by, what's our Y level? 64. So I want a little bit higher than that, 70, I guess. And then you can put it in here and just tell it what corner we are on. So what direction is this? It's easier to check on the map. North and east. So builder in southwest corner. Yeah, hit that button. What that will do, if you show preview, is it'll set the region to this area. It lags a lot when you do it, so you can see waiting for server, it's lagging. It's generating the preview, which I think sometimes generates chunks. All right, 1 second. Oh, nope, there it goes. And then all you have to do is fix the Y coordinate because it doesn't know your Y. And I want to offset that down by 35-ish blocks. Oh, I want that offset down by that amount. Region looks good to me. Lastly, we have to choose what color on our ender chest. And since it's the 5th of July here, while I'm recording, I'm going to make it red, white, and blue. Leftovers from the 4th of July, of course. I guess it'll be the day after by the time you see it, but whatever. Just make sure, you can pick whatever color you like. Just make your ender chest match. All right, so let's turn it on and see how things go. Power it with a lever and go. Hold on. I suspect I have my filter backwards. Yeah, it's a whitelist. This should be a black. Wait, it is a blacklist. Am I crazy? Mode blacklist. It definitely said whitelist while it was in there. Anyways, reset it. I think if you just press to restart, there we go. We can turn off preview mode and go again. All right, there we go. Yeah, I don't care for these things. Instead, we are now mining things. Now, it looks like it's not really getting anything because right now, well, no, there it goes. Iron ore already. But remember the way resources generate in this world, they're only along cave walls. So if it's not quarrying a region with caves, it's just not doing anything. Cool. So this will, as you can see, fill up our drawer or our chest here extremely quickly. I have to move this into some type of drawer system, and I'll build that over here. I'm thinking I'll extend along like this way, so build a large drawer wall over here somewhere, and put my processing machines over here. We're going to have to move items extremely quickly between the chest and the drawers, so oopsies, that's the wrong way to move items. I want you to go that way. All right, so I've already put some, I put snowballs in a slot. But as I give slots to items, they'll be able to be stored in here. And, I always have a compacting drawer there just to test what can and cannot be compacted. But anyways, next up, I just have to assign slots to all of these. Sand is an interesting case. It can be compacted usually into both compressed sand and into sandstone. I prefer to compact it into compressed sand because that makes it more storage efficient. All right, well, time to find homes for everything. What would a base be without multiple great walls, eh? I have 3 of them now. I'm sure there'll be more to come. Anyways, every single resource type that I've encountered so far has a home. I'm sure I'll encounter more over time. For example, I haven't even gotten the 6th this crystal type yet, among other things, but that's why there's room to grow. Now, I remembered though that I did overlook something, and in fact I should turn this off and replace it before we get too deep into it. And that is that this machine can be infused. You see that it says infuse 0%? If we put it in a RF Tools machine infuser, we can increase the speed that it runs up to, I think, almost triple. And it'll also reduce the energy cost per operation. Although I think because it runs so much faster, it ends up using more RF per tick. And yeah, let's. So I'm gonna make a machine infuser and infuse our two builders. Also, I'm processing a bunch of diamond ore and have lots of diamonds. Unfortunately, picking up the machine, even to do something like infusing it, does reset where it's working from, I think. Am I wrong about that? Oh, maybe I'm wrong about that. It's still on chunk 12. Cool. So anyways, I guess it doesn't reset where it's working from. It just makes it work faster. So there we go. More resources. Now, as for power, it looks like we're draining somewhere around 2k RF a tick. It's lower because I'm, skipping the majority of the blocks, right? All the stone, effectively, we're paying 0 for. And then you can see sometimes it dips a little bit because we're actually mining resources. Look, some new stuff. Anyways, this is the overworld one. I'm going to go set up basically the exact same thing in the Nether. I'll store the items into the same drawer system, at least for now. And since I'm a dirty, dirty cheater, let's build it on top of the roof. Wow, got through in 1 ender pearl. Hey, what's this? Looks like a easy way through the bedrock. Oh, never mind. I was hoping this would reveal a hole in the bedrock. I did come up here without a plan for how to get back down. I'll figure that out. Maybe do waystones work interdimensionally? If not, I'll just build I have the /home command, and then I'll build the RF Tools teleporter or something. Turns out they do work interdimensionally. Cost 3 levels, but whatever. So I can go back home with the load screen. Like in the overworld, our region is 512 by 512. It goes from on top of bedrock all the way down to the bottom layer. Initially, I was going to filter it to wait. Why did it say whitelist again? Hold on. It's definitely on blacklist, but it says whitelist. I feel like I've encountered this bug before, and it surprised me every time. Right? If I click it, it stays whitelist. If I click it again, it goes back to blacklist. Yeah, okay. So it's just a bug. I'm not crazy. Anyways, initially I was going to filter out the netherrack because I don't really need tens of millions of netherrack, but I think it's actually one of the easiest ways for me to make large amounts of lava. I can either melt it in a light well very slowly, or I can melt it a bit faster in a magma crucible with a little bit of energy, 60k RF per bucket, and then we could use this to make, say, obsidian and other stuff. But what that means is I can't void it all, so I'm just going to collect it and turn you on. This almost instantly fills up. Oh, I guess I got some more stuff from the overworld. I need to chunk load this up. I already did, so we can head back. I'll waste the 3 levels. Strangely, it turned out that a single translocator was actually too slow for the job. So I'm just upgraded to run, 300 chests, all sending items into one place. Anyways, there's still a few items coming in periodically that don't have homes. Sometimes I think I'm going to have to set up a different way to store the princesses because these don't stack. And I'm going to get, various other bees as well. It's good that I'm getting them. I just need to come up with a way to store them. Is there a forestry bee storage? There's minecart with bee house, eh? I thought there was like a bee storage or something like that. Yeah, this is it. Apiarist chests. If it only holds bees, I can do something like... Well, here, let me just test. Will it hold non-bee items? Nope, it only holds bees. Nice. So if I get an item conduit, I might be able to just do this and only put bees in there. And I guess, and anything like honeycomb and stuff might go in there as well. But that'll keep bees from filling our ender chest. All right, so a bit more sorting to do. As I expand this chest wall, I've reached the limit of what the drawer controller can interact with. It goes 12 blocks in any direction. So my plan was to actually move the controller, over to here and put a controller slave as input here. But there is no controller slave. Like unless it's named something I don't see, but doesn't appear to be enabled in this pack, which I guess is a shame. It means I might have to rethink the way I do my processing as well. Although I can just extract off the remaining faces of the controller for that. That won't be a problem. But I guess that means if I have to expand this, it has to keep going upward to the left. And yeah, I'm going to need a handful more slots at the least. Phew, finally caught up. I'm going to have to continue to check this chest every, 15-20 minutes for the foreseeable future, just in case new items show up. But I think, at least for the time being, I've got the majority of stuff here. Next up, we have to process at least some of these things, like the ores, right? No sense storing them as ores. They're more useful as ingots. So I'm going to set up something that will at least ore double them, I think. Probably just like normally I go for sag mills because they are they have the best yield, especially you can just use flint as a grinding ball. But sag mills are very expensive in this pack, so I don't know. I'll figure something out, but we're going to crush the ores down and then smelt them one way or the other. Looking through the various options, I think I've come to the conclusion that I will use the crusher from Actually Additions to turn them into dust for a couple of reasons. First of all, it handles all the different types, which is perhaps the most important. But secondly, it can even do the nether ores, and it directly crushes into the the pulverized form. So if I were to do it like, if I were to smelt it first, I could, where is it? Smelt it into, well, I can double that. But if I just cook it in a regular furnace, I can cook it into 2 ores and then crush that into 2, right? So it becomes 4. Or but directly putting it through the crusher, I get 6, which is even better than 4. It has the other benefit of being it's pretty cheap to make, so I can just mass produce these because they are very slow. So I'm thinking maybe something like I don't know, 30. not getting that many ores, right? The vast majority of the things I get, I don't even have to process. So maybe like 16 crushers. And then for the furnace, I'm definitely going to use the resourceful furnace because it's extremely cheap and very fast. Woohoo! Stamping at the speed of light. Stamp, 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 stamp. To start off, I'm going to try to see if 16 crushers is enough. I decided to not go with the double variant because double crushers just cost, they cost 2 crushers among other things. And the only thing it saves on is block space in that event. And it's not like block space is something I'm terribly hurting on. Alrighty, so I'll let these run. Well, I guess I won't get to know if they keep up or not because right now we have a significant backlog to go through. I guess I should build the furnace bits as well. Now, I did notice one thing while setting up the extraction filter here, and that is for most of these things, it's okay to crush and then furnace them. However, there's one outlier, and that is Nether diamond ore. I think I'm still gonna do this, but Nether diamond ore, when you crush it, we get IC2 diamond dust, which cannot actually easily be turned back into diamonds. We need an enrichment chamber to smelt it, or a redstone furnace. It can't be done in a regular furnace, so I'm probably just gonna leave diamond dust as diamond dust and let it be. Who knows? Maybe we'll make a bunch of energium dust or something. I thought this was a component in the IC2 energy cable. This stuff, glass fiber cable. Oh, it uses whole diamonds now. I see. I made a mistake. I handled the refined uranium without putting my uranium suit on, so now I get to be damaged. Can I get rid of it with a milk bucket, I wonder? Pretty sure I have a cow in one of these? Yeah. Because it's about to kill me, actually. I need this milk pretty soon. Milk, save me! Oh, milk does cure radiation. Thank you, cow. I owe you one. Here's the final design. The crushers we had seen previously turn the ores into dusts. I have an array of resourceful furnaces, cook the dust into ingots. Also happens to produce a little bit of fluid essence along the way. We'll probably use that in a spawner down the road. And then it dumps the ingots into a ender chest because I want to store them close enough to our storage scanner that I can just link the storage scanner directly to the drawer controller here, so that I can, when I look for like iron in here or hard or whatever, it's just all nice and available. I think there's still a few types of ingots that haven't had anything smelted yet, so I'll have to wait until we smelt a couple ingots to add them to the wall. But now we have fully automated resource collection for both Nether and overworld resources. How nice is that? All right. And with the last step of putting upgrades on our last set of drawers here, our automated ore processing system is complete. We now went from having, at the start of the episode, very slow and manual, ore processing, to very fast and fully automated. I think I'm really hitting my stride now that we, effectively speaking, have an infinite supply of resources. Remember when I was struggling to just have iron to build things with? Well, those were the days, huh? Anyways, now that I have an infinite supply of resources to do things with, we can really ramp things into high gear. But I think we're out of time for today, so that'll be for tomorrow. Anyways, I do hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.